In recent years, possibly Sonic the Hedgehog, no, sorry, one of Sonic the Hedgehog's best games, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, has seemingly disappeared off of the face of the planet. He went from finding it on almost every video game digital platform, like WiiWare, Xbox Live Arcade, PlayStation Network, and Steam, but then whoosh, gone, just like that. After the Steam re-release of Sonic 3, Sonic 3 has not been seen or re-released since. But Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 have been re-released so many times since 2011, unlike Sonic 3. Just recently, Sega Ages Sonic 2 was released for Switch, and also Sega Ages Sonic 1 was. But no Sega Ages for Sonic 3. Which is strange because Sonic 3 is regarded as one of Sonic's best games ever. But no more re-releases. It is so bad that when Sega was showing off the Sega Genesis Mini Towers, they had Sonic 1 on the Sonic & Knuckles chart. Like, what? Okay, actually, apparently you can buy this thing, and it comes with Sonic 1 instead of Sonic 3. What? So something's up. I'm just gonna talk about what I think is going on, and then take a deeper dive into everything. So, what do I think is going on? Well, I think at this point it's pretty obvious that it's the game's music. It's pretty well known by now, but Michael Jackson was brought on to compose the entire soundtrack of Sonic 3. But in the end, that ended up not happening. So, that's what I thought, but let's see if we could take a deeper dive into things. So, we know the tracks Michael and his composers wrote. Some of the tracks Michael and his co-composers wrote ended up in the game, and those tracks were Knuckles' theme, the mini-boss theme, Ice Cap Zone, Carnival Night Zone, and Launch Base Zone, and the credits. And even the competition theme, menu theme. Wow. I would have never thought. Something else to mention is Knuckles' theme and the mini-boss theme were changed when Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles were combined. So the general consensus is, because of these tracks, Sonic 3 is not being re-released. But, if that's the reason, why was Sonic 3 re-released so many times despite almost every re-release of the game would go on to contain these tracks? Except the PC port, which I will get into later. Why all of a sudden are these tracks a problem? In the Sega Genesis collection on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, stated in the Sonic 3 facts that Michael Jackson was originally supposed to write music for the game, which is true, but his music is still in the game. So why would Sega say this when most likely they knew some of his tracks are still in the game? Or maybe they didn't, but now they do somehow? Then comes the PC port of the game. All the tracks that I mentioned before are all removed and replaced with what was once believed to be original songs for the PC port, because the MIDI sound files could not replicate the more complex sounds of the Genesis. Or something along those lines. But in fact, they were the original tracks composed for the game before Michael Jackson's involvement. We now know this because of the recent discovery of the Sonic 3 prototype. This prototype contains all the music for the PC port of the game, and the prototype is dated 1993, November 3rd, 3 months before the release of Sonic 3. So now it gets even more confusing. Why would Sega release the game knowing that Michael's music was still in the game? Well, according to Game Trailer's Pop Fiction video on Sonic 3 and Michael Jackson, they got a lead which wanted to remain anonymous, stating that whatever music Jackson had finished was left in the game, but that Michael wished to go uncredited because of the sound quality of the Genesis. So was Sega just like, okay, just keep his music anyway because he's not credited? I don't know. But what makes no sense is the new tracks in the prototype. Why did they go unused in the Genesis version? These tracks also contradict Game Trailer's source and help Roger Hector's claim a lot more. So like I said, the prototype build date was 1993, November 3rd, and on August 24th, 1993, the allegations were brought into the public eye about Michael Jackson. During the 3 months they wrote the new music and replaced Michael's music? Or are these tracks the original tracks before Michael supposedly came to STI to meet the Sonic team, and then was asked if he'd like to write music for the game? But this also doesn't make any sense either. I'm pretty sure Michael and crew were brought on to compose the whole game soundtrack. But in this prototype, none of the music had any trace of Michael and crew. So exactly when did Michael and crew get involved with Sonic 3? After the prototype, or before the prototype? I think the latter might be true because according to an interview by Roger Hector, he said, "The music fitted perfectly for the game, and they had a distinctive Michael Jackson sound. We had it all ready and integrated into the game." When the first news stories came out accusing him of child molestation, Sega had to back away from the collaboration. It was too bad nobody outside ever heard the Michael Jackson music. But if that's true, why are 6 of the supposed Michael tracks still in the final game? I also want to bring up an interview called MJ Cast, done in 2019, which had Brad Buxer in it, one of Michael's associates that worked with Michael on the game, and is even credited in the game for the music. Listen to what he had to say.
I want to know how it began. So, I mean, there's conflicting stories. There's the story that it grew out of Sonic the Hedgehog number 3, the work he did on that. There's stories that Michael conceived it while he was in Moscow dealing with a very difficult time.
I'll tell you exactly how this worked. Michael worked out a deal with Sega where Michael was going to do the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Then he calls me and he says, "Brad, get to work on doing the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And he really wasn't up for doing a whole lot. Me and Matt Forger at Record One for a solid month did cues. And I delegated other people to help me, like Doug Grigsby and Daryl Ross and different people. But at the end of the day, we had about 41 cues, and they sounded really good.
So in the end, he said they had about 41 music cues ready for the game. So I'm guessing somewhere in Sega, they have the Michael Jackson soundtrack for Sonic 3. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe they didn't send it, maybe they did, I don't know. So if they did write 41 music cues, why are they not in the final game if Michael just wanted to go uncredited and not have his music removed? Also, why were they not in the prototype if, according to Roger Hector, all of Michael and crew's music was already in the game? Or maybe is his music in some sort of other prototype that has yet to be discovered? I don't know. Well, anyway guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. Tell me in the comments what you think about all this. And if you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. It will really help me out. Anyways, thanks for watching, and goodbye.